Okay, you understand that this is a lawsuit involving a ski collision at Deer Valley on February 26th, 2016. Are you aware?
Yes.
Maybe move the microphone more toward the center of the two of you. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, page 12, line 3. Okay, and do you recall this event back in February 26th, 2016?
Yes.
Okay, how old were you back in 2016? Were you
11. No, 12.
about 11 or 12?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, what was your skiing ability at the time?
Intermediate. Beginner.
Okay.
Somewhere in between.
About how many times have you skied approximately before this date in February of 2016?
4 times.
Page 15, line 10. Okay, and do you remember your ski instructors on that trip?
Yes, we had Carrie, Preston, and then my brother's instructor, who I can't remember the name of, and one more female instructor that I also cannot remember the name of.
Page 16, line 7. Okay, that morning, do you remember skiing with which instructor?
Carrie.
Okay, and your brother was skiing with another male instructor, I think you said, correct?
Yes.
I'll just represent to you that his name is probably Eric Christensen. Does that refresh your memory?
Yes.
17, first line. Okay, so do you recall that the morning of February 26, 2016, when you were skiing with Eric and Moses and
Yes.
Carrie, where had you been skiing that morning before the incident with my client?
We were on the mountain
Carrie.
at the hotel and that we were at. It was a ski in, ski out type of thing. We were mainly on the greens and blues.
Do you know about how many runs you had skied before the incident?
5 or 6, I'd say.
And were you skiing with Carrie that whole time?
Yes.
Was your mother skiing with you at the same time?
Yes.
Did your mother ever ski different runs when you were skiing with Carrie?
I don't remember.
Okay, your brother Moses, about what level is he as a skier?
Beginner?
Okay, now I'd like to go to the bottom before the ski collision that's subject of this case, okay?
Okay.
So, you were at the top of the ski hill, and I believe the run is Bandana. Do you recall the name of the run?
Yes, it was Bandana.
And why do you know it was named Bandana?
It was our favorite run.
Page 19. And you remembered the ski run because it's your favorite run, correct?
It was, yes.
And it was also the run you go down to the hotel you were staying at.
Yes.
Okay, next I'm going to ask you what you recall happening on that run, but before, do you recall this ski collision?
I did not see it, but I recall the events following it.
Okay, well, what was going on during the time just before the ski collision?
We were on our way to lunch at the lodge.
And who were you with?
I was with my instructor, my brother, my stepfather, my mother, my step-siblings, and their instructors. But we were all a bit scattered on the run, so some of us were in front, others were trailing behind a bit more.
And who was with your group?
I was ahead with my instructor, my stepsister, and her instructor.
Was Brad Falchuk with you?
No.
Sorry, that's page 20. So, just to clarify, at the time of the collision, there was you, Carrie Oakes, your ski instructor. There was IF, and then there was IF's instructor, who we don't know whose name yet. And then there was also your brother's instructor, Eric Christensen. And then there was your brother, Moses, correct?
Yes, but I was not with Moses and Eric. They were a little up the run. I was closer to the lodge at the time.
21. About how far away were you from your brother Moses, as you recall, just before the collision?
I would say I don't really know how to say it. I was further down the run. They were in the middle of the run. I was towards the end with my stepsister. I was not with Moses or my mother.
And did you know when the collision occurred?
Not the exact time, no.
Did you hear something before the collision?
I don't remember.
Did you hear a scream?
I did hear some commotion, but I was further down, so I decided to continue to go down to the lodge.
Okay, so when you heard the commotion, is that what you think is the collision?
Yes.
And when you heard that commotion, did you look anywhere?
I don't remember.
Did you see your mother after you heard the commotion?
Again, I don't remember.
So I'd like to know just the couple seconds before the collision and then the couple of seconds after the collision. So only about 5 seconds of time. So you heard something, a commotion, right?
Yes.
And then did you see anything?
I don't recall if I had seen anything or not. I think that I did, but I don't remember.
Okay. And when you heard that commotion, you're with Carrie Oakes, your ski instructor, right?
Yes.
And where was she in relation to you? Was she above you or below you?
I believe she would have been in front of me. That is usually how we skied. She would lead me.
We're on 23 now. Okay, so the 5 seconds around the commotion that you believe was the collision, you were with Carrie Oakes and IF, and then the 3 seconds afterwards, what did you do at that point?
We continued to ski down to lunch.
And did you know at that time that there was a ski collision?
No.
When did you first learn that there was a ski collision?
When my mom had arrived at lunch after we had gotten there, about 5 minutes after.
And how did you learn about the ski collision?
My mom told me. She told us what happened.
What did she say?
She said she came in and I noticed that she looked a bit shocked, and I asked what had happened, and she said, "This a-hole ran into me. He ran right into my back." And I remember she did this motion saying that he ran into her back. And they both went down. But I remembered that's what she said.
24. So let's go back to the moment of the collision or the commotion. You heard the commotion. You didn't see the collision, but you continued to ski down.
Yes.
Did Carrie Oakes ski with you?
I believe so, yes.
And she skied with you down to the bottom?
Down to where we were eating, yes.
Okay, and when I say the bottom, I mean the bottom of Bandana Run, which is where the lodges and the
Yes.
eating places are. Is that clear?
Yes.
And so right after the commotion, Carrie Oakes, IF, and you skied down to the bottom of the Bandana Run, correct?
Yes.
And who is at the bottom of the run when you got there?
I don't remember. I just know that we were meeting everybody to eat.
Okay. I'm sorry to keep going back to the commotion. Did you see anyone else on the ski run at the time of the commotion?
Well, there were other people skiing, but again, I didn't really pay attention to what had happened. I just heard some sort of screaming going on above me, but I continued to ski down, and I don't remember if I turned around or not.
Okay. Did you recognize the screaming? Whose voice was it?
It sounded like a woman, but we were so far down, I couldn't really put anything to it. It wasn't very clear.
Okay. How soon after you got to the bottom did your mother arrive?
I would say 5 to 10 minutes.
So you were waiting for her at the bottom?
Yes.
And what about Brad Falchuk? Was he with your mother when he arrived at the bottom?
I believe so.
Did he arrive sooner than she did?
I don't remember.
Well, I'd like to go back to the commotion and just let you continue and tell us, to the best of your memory, what happened. So you heard the commotion, and then what happened?
And then we continued to ski down, and we got to where we were eating lunch. We started to take off our gear, and then sat down. And then shortly after, my mother, Brad Falchuk, my brother, I can't remember if my stepbrother was there or not, but everybody else followed in after I had arrived.
And who is everybody else?
To the best of my ability, I'm pretty sure it would have been my mother, my little brother Moses, Brad Falchuk. I would say 1 or 2 more instructors, and my stepbrother, BF.
Okay, do you recall which ski instructors were there?
Again, I remember Carrie, my instructor, Preston, who skied with BF and IF, Eric, and I believe that there was one more female instructor, but I can't fully recall.
Okay. Do you recall anyone else besides the people you've mentioned at the side of the commotion?
No.
We're on 27. So when you're at having lunch, was the ski collision discussed at lunch?
Yes.
And what do you recall about that discussion?
My mom was explaining what had happened, saying that a man ran into her back and they both went down. And she was in a state of shock. And she decided after that she was not going to ski for the rest of the day, which she never does. She always stays on. But she decided to get off because she was in shock, and she was in a bit of pain.
Did Carrie Oakes say anything?
I believe there was a conversation between them. I don't recall what it was about, but it was probably about my mom getting off the mountain.
Okay. Do you recall anything else?
I recall getting back onto the mountain for a couple more runs, and then I got off the mountain, and I think that my mom was getting a massage.
Okay. When you got back on the mountain after lunch, who were you skiing with?
I was skiing with Carrie.
Anyone else?
I don't remember. Maybe my stepsister?
Do you recall skiing with MM?
I
Moses?
I don't remember.
Okay. Were you concerned about your mother at the time?
Yes.
What was your concern?
Well, I never see her really, shaken up like that, and she was very clearly, visibly upset, and she had some sort of pain. I can't remember what, but she was in a little bit of pain, and I remember that's why she went to the spa to get a massage.
Did you discuss the ski collision with anyone after you left lunch?
I think that my step-siblings and my brother and we talked about it because my brother was closer to the collision, and he had also said that he skied into her back, and they, both went down together.
This is Moses. Can you tell us more specifically what Moses said?
Well, Moses was kind of telling us what had happened. I don't know if he for sure saw it, but I know that he was with people that saw it, and so they had told him what had happened and that it was what he said.
He said that my mom got hit in the back. Oh, what did he say again?
He said that my mom got hit in the back and their leg, they both went down together after somebody had skied into her back.
We are on 30. Okay, when you finished skiing, did you discuss the ski collision?
Yes.
With whom?
I believe we talked about it at dinner and after. I was checking in with my mom to make sure that she was okay.
And what did you discuss?
I asked her how she was doing, how she was feeling. She said she was in pain. Again, I don't remember where exactly, but she did say that she was in pain. She had gotten a massage, I believe. So this was around dinner time, and we had just kind of gone over what had happened.
Did she say anything about my client, Terry Sanderson?
She had earlier in the day, not immediately after, but after 5 minutes after we all met at lunch, she said that he had skied into her back, and she called him an a-hole who had skied into her back.
Anything else you can recall?
I remember she was very frantic about it, so she probably said something along the lines of that, but that would be all that I remember to the best of my ability.
31. Okay, when you discussed it with your mother and you said she was frantic, what do you mean by that?
She was in a state of shock. She was very upset, and she was in pain.
Since that collision, have you seen your mother in that state of shock like that since that?
No, not like that.
So you discussed the ski collision that night at dinner, and do you recall you were staying at a hotel suite or something?
Yes, we were in a hotel.
The next day, do you recall what you did?
I believe we skied in the morning. I can't remember if we had left that day or not. The next day, I don't really remember much.
33. And do you recall how many ski instructors were with you at the time of the collision when you started skiing again?
I believe either 3 or 4.
And one was Carrie?
Yes.
And one was Eric Christensen?
Yes.
Was another one Preston?
Yes.
Was there anyone else that you recall?
I believe that there was one more person, but I can't be too sure about that.
Okay. Did anyone tell you they had seen the collision?
I don't think so, no.
Other than your mother?
No.
35. Okay, earlier I think that you said Moses and said other people had definitely seen the collision. Do you recall saying something like that?
I don't think that I said that.
What do you recall Moses saying?
I remember him sort of telling what happened. I don't know if he saw it or not, saw the actual collision, but I know that he saw my mom on the floor.
I believe I said that he saw my... Let's see. Oh, that's you.
I believe I said that he saw my mom on the floor, but I don't think that he saw the actual collision.
Okay, so after the commotion or collision, you skied down to the bottom of Bandana Run, correct?
Yes, but again, I personally didn't see the collision.
Okay, but you heard this commotion.
Yes.
Did someone say to you ski down to the bottom of the hill after the commotion?
No, we did not think anything of it. We continued to ski down. I don't even know if we stopped.
The we includes Carrie Oaks?
Yes.
Did anyone ask you to wait by the side of the hill after the commotion?
No. I don't remember that I don't know.
That you recall? Do you recall seeing anyone going to help your mother after the commotion?
I, again, did not see the aftermath. I had continued to ski down, but I believe that people did help her.
And what makes you believe that?
Because I assumed that she would have needed help up, and she was close to her boyfriend Brad, who is now her husband, at the time, and both my brother's ski instructors and I believe BF's ski instructor. So I'm assuming that they would have helped her.
But Carrie Oaks stayed with you down to the bottom of stayed with you down the bottom of the hill?
Yes.
What about Eric Christensen? Do you recall what he was doing after the...
I believe that he was with my brother, who was near my mom. So he was near the collision.
Okay, and do you recall which side of the hill you were on? Let's talk about skiers left and right. That means that if you're skiing downhill, the left would be the skier facing downhill to their left, and the same on the right. Do you know which side of the hill you were on ski?
I don't remember.
Okay, do you think you might have been in the middle of the hill, or the side, or near the edge of the run bandana?
I don't remember.
39. Can you be sure exactly that Carrie Oaks didn't stop and help your mom after the collision, or do you remember that at all?
I don't remember. I think that we were further down because I know that we got to lunch first, so I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Do you recall before the commotion on Bandana Run saying something to the effect of, "Hey, watch us ski down the hill"?
No.
Do you recall if Moses said something like that?
No.
Do you recall if any of your other people in your group, like IF or BF, say something like that?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just going to show you something here real quick. Do you recognize the person on the left there?
That's Carrie.
That's Carrie Oaks?
Yes.
42. So Carrie Oaks was recently deposed, Apple, and she actually has specific memories of being on the scene of the collision. Would you defer to her testimony of specific memories rather than sort of your vague memory that she has with you?
Yes, I could have easily been with another instructor. I believe IF had an instructor.
Lawrence, I think we have a picture of Eric. Which has a picture of him on the cover of it. He looks a little older than he did.
Oh, isn't he the one? Oh my God, I remember him so well. He was the best. Oh my God, he was the best. He would give us candies and he would tell us. Yes, that's Eric.
Would you say he was under 50 years old?
I don't remember. I never really skied with him, so I never really saw his face. That's the end of it, Judge.
Thank you.
Yeah.